Hi, I've had a couple of requests for what to do with grasses in the landscape. It's becoming more and more popular to use decorative grasses in our gardens, but there's a little bit of technique involved to the maintenance of them. I see a lot of parking lot grasses and non-residential applications where the grasses are sort of being left to their own devices, and it can make it really tricky to clean up. And you can also kind of the grasses themselves will get a little bit ratty and have a hard time coming up through all the thatch. So easiest way to clean up decorative grasses is to clean them off really early when you can get where everything's dry. Well, as soon as it's dried out, you want to cut them down, and it also gives you a great opportunity to get out some of the invasive grasses that might be working their way into the bed. Around our neck of the woods, we're talking about quackgrass. It's a rhizome grass that gets in, once it gets into your garden and into the middle of these other grasses, it can be a real pain in the neck to get rid of. So easiest way to deal with it is to get it cleared out early. A lot of our native grasses are going to be what we call C4, which means they're very warm temperature grasses. They actually don't start getting tall until it gets warm at night. So as you can tell from my big fuzzy sweater, it's not warm yet. So a lot of these grasses are still fairly dormant. Even some of the cooler temperature or the cool season grasses are just barely poking through the ground right now. So the only things that are really green and easy to spot would be your quackgrass and your Kentucky blue. So that stuff's not what we want in a garden. So this, I'm just going to go over really quickly how we can cut down the grasses. This is a pretty small bed, but it has a lot of different species in it. I've got little blue stem in here, I've got Indian grass in here, there's some drop seeds, some switchgrass, there's some non-native, the flame grass back here. So yeah, I've got lots of different species, and then some, let's say Bootaloo, I can't remember the common name right now, blue grama. Got some of that in here too. So, but I'm kind of a plant nerd, so I really like my grasses. But again, the easiest way to clean through them and make sure that you keep the good grass and not the bad grass is to clean them up really early. And I would say to you, if you can't clean this thatch out of the way in the spring, make sure you get in there in the fall and cut everything down. But as you can tell, it's been a little bit sat on by dogs, kids, and snow cover, but having some of these tall pieces coming up through the snow in the winter landscape is quite pretty. So I always vote to leave it. You get to feed some creatures, feed some birds, and you get to enjoy it through the winter. So, saying that, let's get in here and cut. I'll show you how to cut some of these down. This is literally how I work my way. This is literally how I work my way through a flower bed. Take the big crowns of the plants. Nice. I have this gardening knife from Lee Valley Tools. Big serrated edge. Just really get in there and chop everything down and roll everything behind you. And just go through your bed, go through. Now, you know someone's got a native landscape. There's a piece of cactus. These guys belong over here, so I'm gonna throw him back that way. Those things hurt when you stand on them. But this one's a Carl Forester grass, so it's not native. And I can see a little bit of green coming through right now. If I waited probably another 2-3 weeks, this would be a real headache to get the green away from, get the dead stuff out of the green. So, but that is the quick and dirty how you can cut off the crowns of the plants. Now, I see some green in here. Not much. Got a lot of mulch. I'm going to check and see what kind of grass this is. We're good, it's not quackgrass. So, I have some switchgrass in here, and that tends to wander as well. It's not something I use in everybody's landscape because it does spread by rhizomes. So what I'm looking at is the base of the grass, the base of the first leaf, and you can tell by how the anatomy of that leaf is as to which grass it is. But like I said, unless you're getting really fancy with your varieties, you can pretty much just pull it out this time of year if it's not in your defined clump, and it's probably quackgrass. So anyway, I'm going to keep working through here, and I hope that helps. I cut a couple more crowns off here so you can see. This is a warm season grass, so I got nothing going on here. Just a nice crown. Clear it all out. You can also take out any dandelions and things this time of year too. It'll help cut down on the seeds that are coming up if you can get these early ones out of the way. I have very little weeds in my beds because I do just keep a lot of mulch in the way. So it cuts down on all those plants that are adapted to bare soil But you can just mow yourself all the way through. Just keep chopping down, mowing back. Checking out this one. Getting my weedy stuff out the way. Now, as some of you know, I couldn't actually get into the garden last year, so this is kind of cool that I can get in here. And you can see that I didn't have too many weeds even with not getting in here last year, so pulled some of those out. And then that just leaves my good stuff. So you can see how you can just work your way through the whole bed. You can either go all redneck like I do, which is burning this in a fire pit, or if you have nothing but leaf litter, you can take that to local dumps if you're here in the city. And as long as you're only dumping green stuff, then there's no fee for that. So that's a good place for the city to reuse it and compost it. Otherwise, if you have a backyard composter, that's great. I tend to have too much garden to deal with the composter, so I need either a bigger yard or a really huge compost pile. So anyway, I hope that helps everybody, and by all means leave questions if you have any, and feel free to visit us on Ecotones Design on our Facebook page. So talk to you soon. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.